You walk into a quiet room, and within a few seconds, without thinking, you reach for something. The TV, music, your phone, anything to make a sound. You tell yourself you just like background noise, that you focus better with something on. But sit in real silence sometime, not quiet. Total silence. Your heartbeat gets loud, your ears start to ring, your skin prickles like something is about to happen, and you get the urge to fill the room, fast. That isn't a preference. That's an alarm. One you never installed and can't fully switch off. Because for almost your entire history as a species, silence was one of the most dangerous things you could hear. Your ancestors' world was never quiet. Birds, insects, wind, distant animals, a constant gentle hum that meant one thing. Everything is fine, nothing is hunting, and then, sometimes, all of it would stop at once. The birds cut out. The insects went still. The whole forest held its breath, and every human who lived long enough to become your ancestor knew exactly what that meant. Something is here, something the other animals saw first. So, if nothing is hunting you anymore, why can't your body believe it? Start with how deep this actually goes in you, because you've probably never noticed how hard you work to never be in silence. You put the TV on for company in an empty house. You fall asleep to a fan, a podcast, rain sounds, anything. You put in earbuds the second you step outside. When a conversation hits a pause that lasts more than a couple of seconds, something in your chest tightens, and you'll say almost anything to end it. None of that feels like fear. It feels normal. It feels like just you, just your taste. But try the actual experiment. Sit in a room with no sound at all. No traffic, no hum from the fridge, nothing. Most people can't last more than a few minutes. The quiet starts to feel heavy. You notice your own breathing, your own pulse, and there's this low, creeping sense that you should be doing something, checking something, that something is off. Nobody taught you that reaction. No one sat you down and trained you to be afraid of quiet. It was already in you, waiting, which means it came from somewhere much older than you. To get it, you have to stop thinking of silence as nothing. Your brain has never treated silence as the absence of a threat. It treats it as the absence of the all clear. Think about what sound actually told your ancestors. The constant background noise of the living world, birds calling, insects buzzing, leaves moving, animals shifting in the distance. That was a status report running every second of every day. And the message was always the same. The world is behaving normally. Nothing big enough to scare everything else is close. Sound wasn't entertainment to them. It was safety, broadcast nonstop. As long as the world was noisy, they could rest, sleep, lower their guard. So silence wasn't peace. Silence was the report cutting out. And the report only cuts out for one reason. For almost the entire time humans have existed, the world was never quiet. Not once. There was no such thing as a silent room. Day and night, a living soundtrack played in every direction, and your ancestors were tuned to it the way you're tuned to your phone buzzing in your pocket. And we know how deep this runs, because it isn't only a human thing. It's wired into the animals too. When the birds around you are singing their ordinary, lazy songs, the part of your brain whose entire job is scanning for danger actually settles down. Birdsong, to your nervous system, is the sound of safety. It means the creatures whose lives depend on spotting predators have decided there's nothing to spot. You feel calmer near gentle, natural sound, and you never knew why. Now you do. Your body is listening to the all clear, and then there's the other thing sound does. It disappears. When a predator moves into an area, the animals don't get louder. They go silent. Staying quiet is how you avoid being the one that gets noticed. The birds stop singing. The insects cut out. Everything that can freeze, freezes. Scientists actually measured this. They played the call of a hunting hawk into a forest, and within about 10 seconds, the birds across the whole area went quiet. Not one or two. Entire communities, all at once. And they stayed quieter for a long time after, sometimes over an hour. The animals never saw the hawk. The sound of the threat was enough. Now picture one of your ancestors sitting in that forest when the noise suddenly drops out. The birds stop. The insects stop. The world goes still. They had maybe seconds. And the ones who froze, who went quiet, who got their guard up at that exact moment, those are the ones who lived. The ones who shrugged it off and kept moving and talking walked straight into whatever had silenced the forest. They didn't get to have children. You are descended, every one of you, from the people who found sudden silence terrifying. So that reflex never went away. It got handed down, generation after generation, all the way to you. And your brain is still running the same rule. Constant sound means safe. Sudden silence means a threat just froze the world. It has no idea you live in a sealed apartment with a locked door and no predators within 1,000 miles. The rule is older than doors. It's older than walls. It's older than the first word anyone ever spoke. So when you sit in a silent room, your nervous system doesn't think peaceful. It thinks the report cut out, something's wrong, and it pushes you hard to do something about it. And then you turn on the TV, or the music, or the fan, and watch what happens. You relax, almost instantly. That's not a coincidence, and it's not weakness. You just fed your brain the all clear. You rebuilt the hum of a safe, noisy world. To the ancient system running underneath you, background noise is birdsong, the sound of a world that isn't holding its breath. You're not distracting yourself. You're telling a million-year-old alarm that there's no predator tonight. But there's a catch, and it's why silence can feel like more than unease. It can feel like dread. Your alarm can't actually see. It can't scan the room and confirm there's no leopard in the corner. All it knows is that the all clear stopped. So when you sit in real silence and nothing is there, your brain still insists something is. It just can't find it. And when a threat detector goes off with nothing to point at, it does something strange. It turns inward. The fear that was built to scan the tree line swings around and scans you instead. Your regrets, your worries, the thoughts you've spent all day keeping at arm's length. That's why silence is unbearable for so many people. It was never really about the quiet. The noise you keep around you isn't only covering a predator that isn't there. It's covering everything you'd rather not sit alone with. Turn the sound off, and all of it surfaces at once. So, no, you're not broken for hating silence. You're not weak, and you don't have some modern attention problem. You're carrying a guard that has been on duty for 1,000,000 years. It stood watch over your ancestors every night they slept on open ground. It flinched at exactly the right moment over and over across thousands of generations, so that the line leading to you never broke. The discomfort you feel is that guard, still at his post, still doing the only job he has ever known. He's just guarding a world that mostly isn't here anymore. The leopards are gone. The open ground is gone. But the watchman doesn't know that, and you can't lay him off. What you can do is recognize him, because the feeling changes the moment you understand what it really is. The next time you walk into a silent room and feel that old pull to fill it, you can stop for a second and notice. That's not anxiety with no cause. That's 1,000 ancestors who survived because when the world went quiet, they listened. So go back to that quiet room. The one you can't sit in for more than a few minutes. The one that makes you reach for noise without even deciding to. Nothing in it is hunting you. You know that. But some part of you, far older than the part that knows you're safe, is still waiting for the birds to start singing again. Still waiting for the all clear that says the danger has passed. That part isn't going anywhere. It's the same part that kept your family alive for longer than humans have had fire or words or names. So the next time the silence gets loud, don't fight it. Just remember what it actually is. It isn't fear. It's the oldest part of you, still listening for something that hasn't walked the earth in 10,000 years.